The Norris community has likely been around since about the time commerce itself was incorporated. It certainly dates back as far as A&M Commerce. As we know, Professor Mayo established our university in 1889 with the declaration that, and this is him, if you've not seen him, Professor Mayo established our university in 1889 with the declaration that, as he put it in an early catalog, any person of whatever age, wealth, or previous advantages who desires to be able to attend college, be able to do so regardless of ability to pay. And that is really crucial because access to higher education in rural areas, especially in the South, amongst those who didn't have money to go to college, it was impossible. So he was trained as a teacher educator, and he saw a need for both training for farmers and also training for teachers in these areas to teach these farmers and others. So the university has actually always been responsive to local conditions, but this was especially true in our earliest years. By the mid-century, in fact, our motto had become the South's most democratic college, and that particular motto has been so generative for me. That's the title of my article. Next article that deals with integration here and the rhetoric surrounding it. We cannot forget that this was Jim Crow South, though, in a segregated state, so that all persons that Mayo referred to in his catalog description did not include African Americans. This is no slight on him. This is just the way it was. The laws said that they couldn't. Indeed, for much of the 20th century, generations of Commerce's black citizens would cross the railroad tracks early each day, most often by foot, because they wouldn't have had access to any public transportation as much as we had any out here. And they would go across the railroad tracks, past downtown, past restaurants, the same downtown that's there now, and downtown past through downtown, past restaurants and businesses that they couldn't enter, and onto a campus where they would feed our students, clean our buildings, tend to our physical plant, and construct our laboratories. They worked as domestics in faculty houses and provided sanitation services for our homes. On the global front, they fought our wars, and many of them joined the great migration northward to cities like New York and Chicago in search of better opportunities. And remember, of course, 12 Million Black Voices, which we're reading for this week. That will be helpful. But from the time Mayo established our university until 1964, our student body, faculty, and administrators were white, without exception. That was the rule. They could work for ET. For college, though, they'd have to look elsewhere, and many did. There were many black colleges around, but not very close, and we can talk more about that. About a decade before Mayo established East Texas in Cooper was in a town adjacent to us, and then it burned down, remember, and the Commerce citizens got together and helped bring A&M Commerce here, then Mayo College here. But about a decade before that, a group of former slaves and ministers were meeting to create what would become the Cypress District Baptist Association, leading to the establishment of multiple congregations and church buildings across the Northeast area, including Mount Moriah Baptist Church that was established in the Norris area. Norris community, it's still there, or a new building is there, but established there in 1896, and we were able to get a historical marker for them. It'll be installed a little bit later this term, so I will tell you about that if you want to be involved with that or hear more about it. So I'm going to pause here, and then we can talk about that parallel timeline.